So, how do you change the story that you tell yourself about your professional potential? And this is about seeing your introversion as a key part of your success, not an obstacle to overcome. I'm going to repeat that because it's so important to understand that this is about seeing your introversion as a key part of your success. And it's not an obstacle that you have to overcome. Welcome to the Overthinking and Outthinking podcast, the show where we turn overthinking into powerful action. I'm Drew Chavez, and if you've ever felt like your mind is racing in a million directions and you're looking to see it to your advantage, you're in the right place. This podcast is all about helping introverts like you to stop overthinking and start outthinking, embracing your natural strengths to lead with confidence, calm, and clarity. Whether you're building your online business, leveling up your leadership at your 9 to 5, or just finding ways to own your quiet power, every episode will leave you with actionable tips and inspiring stories to help you take the next step with purpose and confidence. So if you're ready to stop overthinking and start out thinking, let's dive in. Hey there, and welcome back to Overthinking and Outthink podcast. I'm Drew, and today we're starting something new and really important, and we're going to talk about that nagging feeling that many introverts have. You know what it is, that feeling that who you are just isn't enough to succeed. Have you ever wondered if you need to be more outgoing to get ahead, or felt invisible at work even though you do great work? Or watched louder coworkers get opportunities that you deserve, or been told you need to speak up more, or just put yourself out there? Well, when this happens over and over and over, you start to doubt if your natural way of being can ever lead to success. But what if the problem isn't you? What if it's how success has been defined? Well, today we're going to share simple ways to spot and use your quiet strengths, not so you can become someone else, but so that you can succeed by being, more of who you already are. So let's start with the introvert confidence trap. And this is the cycle that keeps many introverts doubting themselves. And here's how it usually works. You notice what gets rewarded at work, being vocal in meetings, comfortable with self promotion, quick to share ideas, and being socially energetic. So, since these don't come naturally to you, what happens? You start thinking there must be something wrong with you. Am I hitting it on the nose? Yeah, I know this because that's exactly how I felt early in my career. So, what are you supposed to do? Push yourself to be more outgoing? Maybe you force yourself to speak up in every meeting or go to networking events that leave you totally drained and overwhelmed. This feels totally fake and so exhausting, which actually makes you perform worse than you normally would. Of course, that's going to happen because it isn't you. Well, when this doesn't work well, it just confirms your fear that you're not cut out for success. And that's how it feels, right? And so the cycle continues, making you doubt yourself even more. I've seen this over and over again, and I always felt incredibly skilled at creating strategic campaigns with solid research and thoughtful messaging. But I kept noticing that the people who get promoted are the ones who talk the most in meetings and network with the bosses. I used to call them something else, and I won't mention it here, but deep down, it was just totally deflating. So, what did I do? Yep, I tried to be more like them. I pushed myself to speak up in meetings and went to every company happy hour and every event that I could where everybody was getting together. And talk about exhausting. Not only did my work suffer, but I still didn't get the recognition I hoped for. By trying to succeed using someone else's strengths, I was totally ignoring my own. This trap is so common because we're surrounded by success stories that are written by and for extroverts. It's like being a fish who's been told that climbing trees is the only way to win. Okay, so the first step to breaking free is seeing that actually there are many paths to success. Let me repeat that. The first step to breaking free is seeing that there are many paths to success. And many of them actually work for introverts. There are 5 real strengths that comes with being an introvert. advantages that are often missed but are super valuable in today's workplace. So, advantage number one is deep thinking. While meetings often reward quick responses, tough problems need deep thought. Introverts naturally think things through more carefully before speaking up. This isn't overthinking, it's thorough thinking, and it's a superpower for solving complex challenges. This means you might not be the first to speak up with an idea, but your input often covers angles that the others miss. And that depth is incredibly valuable, especially as work problems get more and more complex, right? Advantage number two is noticing what others miss. Introverts tend to pick up on things others don't see. And while the talkers are busy talking, you're watching body language, spotting inconsistencies, and seeing subtle patterns. This leads to insights that just drive better decisions. Advantage number three is building real connections one on one. Many introverts are great at building deep, trust based relationships in one on one settings. And while this might seem less important than working a room at at a networking event, these deeper connections often lead to stronger work relationships and more loyal clients and better teamwork. Think about the coworkers who come to you when they need solid advice. These aren't accidents, they're the result of your ability to create meaningful connections with individuals. Advantage number four is solving problems independently. Many introverts thrive when given space to work through challenges on their own before collaborating. And this ability to dive deep without constant input often leads to more innovative solutions and more thorough work. What this means is that you likely do your best work on projects that need focused attention. Far from being a limitation, this independent work style is just so essential for many high value contributions. And advantage number five is communicating with clarity. When introverts do write or speak, they've often thought carefully about what they want to say, and this leads to clear, more impactful communication that cuts through all the noise. In a world of information overload, the ability to communicate with clarity is so doggone valuable. And your tendency to think before you speak isn't a drawback, it's actually a communication advantage. So, the key thing to understand about these advantages is that they're not consolation prizes for not being extroverted. These are legitimate professional strengths that are highly valued in today's business world. And you just need to understand and know how to use them effectively. So, the key thing to understand about these advantages is that they're not consolation prizes for not being extroverted. These are legitimate professional strengths that are highly valued in today's business world. And you just need to understand and know how to use them effectively. So, how do you change the story that you tell yourself about your professional potential? And this is about seeing your introversion as a key part of your success, not an obstacle to overcome. I'm going to repeat that because it's so important to understand that this is about seeing your introversion as a key part of your success. And it's not an obstacle that you have to overcome. So, spot your real impact. Many introverts focus on what they think they should be doing, like being more visible and speaking more, rather than the actual value that you bring. So let's turn that around a little bit. So take a few minutes to jot down three specific contributions you've made that had real impact, and I bet you have a bunch of them. And these might be problems you solved, insights you provided, relationships you built, or projects that you completed. And then focus on the outcome, not how visible your contribution was. And then for each one, ask yourself, what strengths did I use? Or how did this help my team? And who benefited from this? What this is going to do is help shift your focus from how you work to what you actually accomplish. And really, in the big picture, that's really what matters. Also, you can connect your introvert traits to work results. Next, let's connect your natural tendencies directly to outcomes that others value. For example, your careful listening leads to better understanding of client needs, which then leads to more effective solutions. And then your thoughtful analysis leads to fewer missed problems and more successful projects. And your focused work style leads to fewer distractions and then higher quality output. And your meaningful connections, that leads to stronger trust and more loyalty with the people around you. The key here is to draw a direct line from how you naturally operate to results that actually matter where you work. And this helps you see that your introversion isn't separate from your professional value, it's an actual source of it. So gather proof of your impact. Many introverts discount their own contributions because they don't seem big enough. Let's take a look at this with some concrete evidence. Start keeping an impact journal, a simple record of positive outcomes you've influenced. And this might include feedback from coworkers or problems you solved, ideas you've shared that were used, projects you've completed successfully, and times when your unique approach made a difference. Review this often to counter self doubt because having concrete evidence makes it really hard to discount your contributions. And then create your authentic success story. Now, put these pieces all together into a clear story about how you succeed through your introvert strengths, not despite being an introvert. And this is not about bragging, it's about having a clear understanding of how you create value in your own way. And your story might sound something like, I create value through careful analysis that leads to more effective solutions. My careful listening helps me understand what clients really need, even when they have trouble explaining it. My focused work style helps me deliver quality results that others can count on. Having this story clear in your own mind just helps counter moments of doubt and gives you words to help others understand the value that you bring. So let's wrap this up with these 5 simple steps you can take this week to start recognizing and leveraging your quiet strengths. Step 1 would be to notice your energy patterns and pay attention to when you feel most energized and effective at work. What kind of tasks and environments and interactions bring out your best, and which ones leave you totally drained? Just notice these patterns help you understand your natural strengths better. Step 2, identify one quiet strength that you already use. Pick one introvert strength we talked about today that you already use in your work. Maybe it's careful observation or deep thinking or meaningful one on one connections. Notice how this strength already helps you create value. Step 3 is to find evidence of your impact. Look for just one piece of concrete evidence that your quiet approach has created positive outcomes. And this might be feedback from a colleague, a problem you solved effectively, or a project where your thorough approach made a difference. And just write this down and keep it somewhere where you can see it. Step 4 is to create one boundary that honors your needs. Choose one small boundary that helps you work at your best. And this might be blocking 30 minutes of uninterrupted time each day, taking a short break after meetings to recharge, or finding a quiet space for focused work. And then communicate and implement this boundary. I find that during the day, actually, my Apple Watch helps me remember, tells me to stand up. I end up just taking a short walk, whether it be outside or down the hall or just somewhere where I can get my mind off work and get focused on myself and my energy. It really helps and it has made a huge difference in my career. So remember, the goal isn't to transform yourself overnight, it's to begin recognizing and using the strengths you already have in ways that really feel authentic to you. So as we wrap up today, I want to leave you with this. Your introversion isn't something to overcome on the path to success. It's actually a fundamental part of how you succeed. This world often celebrates the loudest voices, and it's easy to doubt the value of your quiet approach. But some of the most successful professionals I know succeed not by changing who you are, but by using who you are more effectively. So remember, the path forward isn't about becoming extroverted, it's about becoming more intentionally and confidently yourself by using your natural strengths in a way that create value while honoring your needs. So over the next few episodes, we're going to build on this foundation with specific strategies for making your ideas heard. And we'll talk about leading teams your way and getting recognized for promotion, all without pretending to be someone you're not. But all of this starts with recognizing that you already have everything you need to succeed. Your quiet strengths aren't limitations to overcome, they're advantages to use. Next week, we're going to talk about practical ways to ensure your valuable insights get the attention that they deserve. So until next time, embrace who you are as an introvert and don't try to become somebody you're not. You be you. This is Drew Chavez, and you've been listening to Overthinking to Outthink. If this episode resonated with you, share it with another deep thinker in your life. And don't forget to subscribe for more strategies on turning your internal dialogue into external success. Until next time, keep thinking deeply and keep acting strategically. And most of all, you be you.